Hi guys, I'm Jerusha and you're watching Jerusha Couture TV. I know. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not going to go into it because I don't sell it anymore. It's not fair to wear it. But it gives me such Balmain vibes and it reminds me so much of my boutique. So I wanted to wear my jacket today to do this video, which has been a requested video to do by some subscribers have asked me after I did an Instagram live unboxing this beautiful HERMÈS Birkin 35 centimeter, which had just come back from the United States, and I unboxed it on an Instagram live with you guys. If you joined me on that Instagram live, thank you so much. This is also for Hey June. Hi babe. She asked me a few of the details about how I did the Birkin spa, which is what this bag went through and what, you know, it like shipping and things like that. So babe, I wanted to let you know, and I wanted to let a few of my subbies that asked know the details in a proper sit down video so I can tell you guys. This is my newly returned from HERMÈS Birkin spa. Birkin in the Togo leather in the color gold with gold hardware. It returned a couple of weeks ago now, and I was pleasantly surprised and obviously shocked by how unbelievable the spa and the job that this company do in rejuvenating or repairing handbags. And I think they do other leather goods, but they specialize in handbags. As I said on my Instagram live, if you watch that, they are an authorized repairer. So the way, if they need to open up the bags, they need to fix things, they need to fix taps and screws, they are authorized to do so through most of the design houses. They're super famous for what they do. The head engineer per se has been doing this. He called me personally, it was really sweet. He called me from Pennsylvania in the United States, which is where they're located, and he's been doing this for, I think he said 45 years. He's been rejuvenating, repairing and bringing back to life these bags, especially Birkins. So if you don't know the backstory on this bag, it is super vintage. Yes, I got it from the pre-loved market. Yes, I know how some people on YouTube feel about the pre-loved market. I get told all the time that there are a couple of YouTubers out there who diss the pre-loved market. They say, you know, it's jumping the queue and you pay over prices and you're not in the Birkin club or you're not in the HERMÈS club. They've asked me what I think about that person's opinion on it, and that's totally fine. She can think whatever she likes. That's totally up to her. Personally, I don't see it as, I know the HERMÈS game. I'm totally down for the HERMÈS Birkin and Kelly game. Definitely a marketing strategy, supply and demand, and I love it because I come from a background of having my own boutique and knowing what I guess the hunt is like and building a brand. I think that deep down they're geniuses, and really you've got to think for yourself, why does LVMH want to buy HERMÈS so badly? And at the end of the day, we're just talking about handbags, we're just talking about leather products. A lot of people do leather, a lot of people do leather that's better quality than this, you know. They're leathers which they carry on about, you know, farming and having the most perfect leathers and this and that. I still think there is many other design houses that have just as good, if not better, leather qualities. But I'm all for the HERMÈS game. I think I love hearing people, you know, crap on about it and say how it's so crap, like can't get on a list, but I love it. I love it because at the end of the day, these brand new are like a deposit on a condo or a car. So it's the most ridiculous amount of money anyway for a handbag. So the process should be ridiculous. Does that make sense? So my take for the subbies that asked me on the person's point of view to resale, buying from the resale market, my 2 cents would be to pay over retail off the pre-loved market is really, I think, for a reason. For example, I paid over retail for my recent purchase of FASHIONPHILE for the 4 keyring from Chanel. I wanted it, period. So it didn't matter what it costs. Even if I got it new from the boutique, which I couldn't get it. Michael couldn't get it for me, couldn't find it in those exact combinations. If you want something, you're going to go after it no matter what. So you save and you work out a budget, and then you acquire it for that budget, whatever that budget may be. For actual Birkins that go for like double retail and things like that, obviously those people really, really want the bag. And is that so bad? Plus, another thing you got to think of is the person selling that bag may be in need or in hardship, and they need to get the money back, if not, more, to pay for other things, and their asset is in that handbag. It goes to say that HERMÈS are so sought after for these 2 top line handbags, which is the Kelly and the Birkin. Grace Kelly for the Kelly and Jane Birkin for the Birkin. Those 2 top line handbags, they say that it's almost better to invest in a Birkin, even brand new, than it is to invest in gold or stocks, bonds and shares, because of the way it holds its value and increases. Its price increase is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. I read once on Purse Bop. They do a lot of work and a lot of articles on the Birkin and Kelly's from HERMÈS. Some of them were saying that like they even go up by like 20% each year. Like that's ridiculous price. Like the growth, that's just massive. This is very vintage. And when I say very vintage, it's over 20 years old. Is it? No, 17 years. 17 years old. The reason I say it's very vintage is because it was used, like used, It came with odor, it was very collapsed, the sides was collapsed. It still is. It's obviously had its Birkin spar, but it's still used. It's not straight out of the box, brand pristine new, a $16,000 bag that I'm shit scared to do anything to, which is how I would feel. Trust me, I'm still scared when I carry this bag, but I'm less because of its, pre-love history type thing. I knew that is how I wanted to go. My budget was anything below, look, my budget was anything tiny, really. I found this on Brandoff. It was an auction. I won the auction. It was a complete steal. I don't even know how I got it. I got it for just under $5,000 It was like $4,980 or something, which is ridiculous, especially for a Togo with gold hardware and gold. It's ridiculous. It's definitely one of the most sought after colors and finishes, especially in Togo. But it had wear. It had lots and lots of wear. It had odor. It had corner wear. It had damage. It had damage to the clochette. It only comes with 1 key, which, look, that was pretty amazing that it even came with a key. It had pen marks inside. It had a couple of pen marks on the bottom. It wasn't in great condition, and I knew that. And I knew that from the pictures. I talked to the manager at Brandoff, and they were like, look, it's on our auction for whatever we can sell it for. It was collapsed. It has structure loss. I was like, no worries. I ended up winning the auction. You saw my unboxing. It was massive. Yes, I cop a lot of flack for this bag by haters, by, a lot of my stalkers, hey, because of the way it looks, especially because of its veining. Veining, if you don't know, is completely natural especially to the leathers of Togo and Clements. They have veining. This is the cow. So many people ask me what it is. It is the veining of the cow. That is what it is. It is not scratched. It is not damaged. It's just what the leather looks like. It holds and retains where obviously the veining was on the animal. That is what it is. And it just genuinely came across used and worn. I loved that. I always told you, if I ever showed you my Birkin, that I love the smooshiness and the wear and everything. However, the damage that was on it. So this clochette was split. All of the glazing was split open. The actual bell of the clochette was split. I didn't want damage, actual damaged parts to remain and get worse with my use. So in my mind, I thought, okay, if I put it in for the Hermès spa through the boutique, it would be good in putting money, investing into keeping its longevity and take care of it. So I was happy to do that. I went into the Sydney boutique. I spoke to the manager there. He's really nice. Hopefully I can get on the list for Kelly one day. He's really, really nice. And he said, totally, you know, this is definitely a candidate for our spa. I would suggest you put it through the spa, because what it will give the leather and rehydrate the leather is just going to be so good longevity. It won't break down, you know, and we will fix everything. I was like, okay. What had to happen next was the reason I didn't go through the boutique. It had to go into a survey process in the boutique, he told me, where they had to survey all the things and list all the things that needed to be done. And then they would spit out a bill of what the Hermès spa was going to cost. Whatever it was going to cost, I then had to pay insurance on top of it to my value or whatever, for it to go over to Paris to go into the spa. He could not give me a return date at all, like period. It's like play by their game, play by their rules or nothing. It's kind of along the same lines of lists. It's whatever they want to do. So he was like, I can't give you a return date. I can tell you it's between 6 and 8 months. And I was just like, what? Not that I would, you know, not that I was like, oh, you know, I'm going to wear this to an event or there's somewhere special I have to take this. And I need it. That's not the point. It could have taken 6 to 8 months, I guess. But you want me to pay this probably astronomical price for all this glazing. There was some glazing under the actual straps across the front. There was glazing down the sides to be completely fixed, the spa, to take all of the odor out of it, to even give it new structure on the sides. Like, you want me to pay this astronomical price, insure the bag, pay for shipping, and it's going to take that long? I was like, hell no, girl. I was like, really? And he was like, yes. And there's a wait list for it. Of course there is. Of course there is a wait list. So I politely said no. Then I called Sabina Lynn here on YouTube, who is my authenticator, and she is a reseller herself. That is what she does. She is just an extraordinaire in Hermès, in Kelly's, in Birkins, in resale, in pre-loved. She knows everything about it. Everything that's the ins and outs, she knows. I asked her, Sab, what would you do in my position with this? Would you take the time, take the investment of the money and give it to Hermès? And she was like, hell no, Jerusha, no way, girl. Look at my Kelly. I asked her and she said I can show you, but this was her Kelly that she found. If you can even see, that is actually a Kelly Hermès bag. It's just completely structure lost. It's folded in on itself and completely, like, just a bucket of leather. It doesn't even stand up or anything. Let's try and show you this one. Can you see? Can you see there? Yep, there you go. Nothing. That was her Kelly. She got it for a steal off a reseller. She works with so many resellers. And she sent it to leather surgeons. I'm going to link their website below. They are amazing. They are so amazing to deal with. Their communication is so great. You never for 1 minute worry. You never for 1 minute think, oh my gosh, where's my bag? What's happening? Where's it gone? This and that. They're so thorough. There's three, Hunter, 3 and 4. There's 3. Jerry is the main surgeon, and then Hunter and Corey, and they take care of all of your questions. You fill out forms so they know what they're dealing with. This is how Sab's Kelly came back from Leather Surgeons. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It is like standing up straight and tall, absolutely perfect. I mean, it was from a puddle of leather to basically going back to being a proper Kelly. She was like, Jerusha, shoot them an email, let them know the list that you've just told the manager of HERMÈS of what needs to be fixed, and they will assess, give them pictures, which I gave them all pictures, and they will assess and let you know. They will roughly give you a quote if you ask for it, which I did, and then you can go forward with the process, which is exactly what I did. Hopefully this bag is showing up. It's not as if I had many videos before. I don't have a review on this bag to show you before and afters like I just did with SAB, but obviously, as you can see from SABs, they are just miracle workers, which they absolutely are. This whole bag has been beautifully reglazed. I mean, all of this was split. All the handles were splitting. There's still a bit of cracking, but all the glazing has been redone. Like, it's just beautiful. Polish the hardware and everything like that. I'm going to get in to show you the inside of the bag, but I'm going to keep talking as well so I answer some of the questions that I got. So, okay, so firstly, the contact is a good contact. Yes, as I said, it's amazing. I never for 1 second worried. Obviously, you're shipping an expensive bag, no matter what it is, if it's a Chanel or, you know, if it is HERMÈS or if it's anything you need to get repaired, you're trusting in them. The shipping out. So this was funny, and I said this on my live, and I think I said it on another video as well. All of this under here, there was a bit of cracking and like that. Look at that. That literally looks brand new. Like, it's just beautiful what they did. Beautiful. If there was anything that needed to be lifted, like here, or any glazing was lifting, they take the original stitching out, they restitch with the original thread. Nothing changes in the way of all of the original works. Like, all the thread is the same. Obviously, it's just new glazing. So when I took it to the post office, which I did say on Instagram Live, my post manager that I used there, she was like, what are you insuring this for? I was like, this is my Birkin. And she was like, oh, the really expensive bag? And I was like, yeah. Because I had to insure it, obviously. Look at that. So beautiful. Now, that base had pen marks. The back pocket here had pen marks on it. They're all completely gone. There was glazing issues on the zipper pull. This zipper pull had glazing issues, completely gone. The front pocket was stretched. It was like it would be hanging down right now before, but look at that. They've tightened that up nicely. And all of the inside there, which you can see, just beautiful. And a lot of the odor was inside, mostly, not like necessarily in the exterior, but inside, which, I mean, it's basically, you know, gone. I can still sort of smell it, but it's basically gone. So my postie was like, what? Your Birkin's going for a spa? That is ridiculous. And I was like, I know, it is so ridiculous. So shipping cost me around, I think it was 150 Australian dollars, mainly because I shipped it express, signature, truck. I basically shipped it courier, obviously. Like, it arrived like the second day from Australia. It arrived like in a day or two. And they told me the second they got it, Corey emailed me, so it was fantastic. So shipping cost me about 150 Australian dollars. I insured this bag for 7,000 Australian dollars, and the insurance on that, I think that was around 100, 180, $200. Did not care what that was going to cost me. Obviously, I had to have some sort of insurance, and that was one way as well. That was just me shipping it over there, but I requested to pay insurance for them to ship it home. They shipped it home with UPS. Yes, I think they shipped it home with UPS, and I put the same value to ship home for my insurance. Their Their shipping cost, yeah, a little around 100 Australian dollars, a little bit under. So I paid the cost of that, and the whole spa of all of the work on this bag, which was a lot, trust me, a lot of work, cost $470 US. So all up, what all of that cost, right down to the last little dollar in shipping, for me, for what I bought this bag for, like the same as Sab did, I believe it was worth every penny to invest in the longevity of this bag, to just, so that I don't, you know, destroy it by using it because it had already had damage. So if you are thinking of an option of having longevity to your bags, or giving a bag, you know, a new lease of life, or maybe you've damaged it, these guys are such a great option. If you are in Australia or a faraway country like Australia is from, you know, New York in America, I can tell you, and this is what June asked me, I didn't pay import fees. It wasn't a purchase, it was a returned repair. So customs is not going to stop that, even with the ticket of insurance, I mean, which is huge, obviously. They knew that it was just going over for a service repair, and that's what leather surgeons stated, and that's what I stated when it was going over. So no, you don't pay import tax because it's not a purchase, it is a repair. The time it took, all up, it did take 4 weeks, and that was simply because I told them take as much time as you want. I think if you put in an urgent request on the form, it can ask, you know, if it's a clutch and you need it for a special ball you're going to, you can put urgent repair request. But I said take as much time as you want because I just wanted a really, really good job done, really thorough. And that's what I definitely got back. So I think that covers everything about using leather surgeons and the return of my beautiful Birkin. I love this bag. I'm sure if you don't particularly like me, you're not gonna like this bag because of that fact. But I overlook that because I know that so many people understand why I purchased this bag and what it meant for me and achieving this bag. Would I consider selling this one day in the future? Absolutely. I don't think, it's not one of those type of milestone bags that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't part with it. You know what I mean? It's too much sentimental value. I definitely see it as you know, an investment item that is going to hold the value of the money. Whether it goes up or not, I doubt it, but at least it would hold the value that I spent on it. Sentimentally, being, you know, getting pregnant and buying this bag, I definitely think, you know, I would love to hold on to it for that, but I also have the feeling of what it gave me when I unboxed it, and I have my little baby, so that's fine. Yes, that brings me to the end of this informative video about my HERMÈS Birkin spa process with leather surgeons. Again, I will link their site below. I will link Sabina's contacts below. If you want to ask her any questions, you definitely can. If you need things authenticated, she is an amazing authenticator to sign up with, and she's very, very quick. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, guys. If you enjoyed it and you like my rejuvenated Birkin, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already and you wish to do so, that would be great, guys. I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Peace.